Welcome back to Heisig's Kanji. So we're going to be going through numbers 11 through to 20 today, as a journey with 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So first off is of course the revision, and if you don't want to go through the old stuff, then skip ahead to the newer stuff by all means. So we're just working through these, same as before. If you remember them well, then you get 3 days instead of just 1 day. And if you missed anything, then of course it will fleet through quite quickly here, but this is very much just a revision, because if you can remember things, then you don't have to worry about looking through the stories again, so it's very straightforward. And as I mentioned, that once we got to 10, you could make larger numbers, and that is completely true. It's super simple. All you have to do is, so if you want to say 38, so you'd have 3, and then you'd have 10, and then you'd have 8, and it's super simple. So, new ones. Mouth, what is that? It's just a pictograph. It looks like a huge open mouth, like a box. Very simple. Day, what is that? Open the window, you have a new day. Or if you will, it looks a bit like those badges with the sun on that they used to have. So you got that line in the middle. Or 2 halves of a 24-hour period, day and night. Day, night. Month, say a month is a bit longer than a day. This will also come to mean flesh as well later on as we get to it, just to bear that in mind. So, a more imaginative story. Am I the only one who sees this as someone sticking their arse in the air, mooning someone, 2 cheeks of the butt and their legs coming off of it? The moon meaning connects well to the meaning of month, considering that months are traditionally measured by phases of the moon. Also, the mooning arse part of it connects well to Heisig's seemingly unconnected flesh or part of the body meaning when used in primitive form, as we will come to see. So yeah, you can just about see that without being too graphic. Rice field, so I skipped over there, is just 4 quadrants, essentially. Very, very simple. Or 10 people use their mouths to eat the yield of the rice fields, if you wish to combine them already, as we'll be seeing as we get further on. Eye, very simple. Sometimes this is also on its side as well. So we can see that you've got the eye as the surrounding part here, and then the 2 bits in the middle forming the iris, if you will, or the pupil. Old, so we've got the cross on a man's grave as a tombstone, as he is old. Or you get old fast if you have 10 open mouths to feed. The stress of a large family. Eye, this is a very archaic form of eye. It's a very odd form, but nonetheless, you've got 5 senses, or you eat 5 times a day, something like that. Or you could even see the mouth as a kind of hole, if you will. So you've got your mouth, 2 nostrils, 2 eyes as eye. Got risk, so don't look at the sun directly with your eyes, it's risky, or you'll risk your eyesight if you look directly up at the sun. Do try and make it more to do with imagery instead of just words. So if you imagine then your eyes being burnt out, like the Asdif movie, if you will. Companion, that's just flesh of my flesh. Heisig likes to use biblical references, so we will hear Adam and Eve, if you will, flesh of my flesh. Bright, so you've got the brightness of the day in the sun and the brightness of the night with the moon. Very simple. And then we're back to the revision, of course. So we'll just go through these again just to make sure we have learned them. It's supposed to be within 10 minutes after all. So that's what we'll be doing. And it is important to be doing it from English to Japanese, because with Japanese you get a cheat of having the primitives that you can build up from, whereas with English of course you don't have that. You have to formulate it all your own and use that keyword to trigger the story, out of which you find the respective primitives to then build up the kanji, and you kind of get an idea of the placement, and also your story should hopefully make sense of it, if you will. So companion is obviously seeing it as flesh of my flesh, but nonetheless you got the first flesh and then off flesh, so that's the second. So bright, that we've already said it's the sun and the moon. So you got the day first and then the night second. So that's how you remember it's sun first and it's moon second. And it isn't sun on top of moon because it isn't one is brighter than the other, but they're equally bright. So it's just those kind of things to look at as we move forward. So risk, that it's risky if you look up to the sun with your eyes. So again, where they say look up at the sun, that's important for placement. And then that's it. So That's numbers 11 through 20. Super simple. Of course, this will take about 200 days, take a few months, but that's it for now. So until next time, enjoy learning.